This looks better. A little carried away exploring.
It's all good.
Found a sweet birch. I made a little hole. I was sucking on some sweet birch sap.
Awesome. Just setting up camp. Hopefully we'll get some rain. That'll be nice.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, of course not. Been lightly drizzling for like 2 days, so we'll see.
So it's meat from my friend that works at Lee's Market in Westport.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Whole Foods, but it's like the small. Oh, take the nice thin one up front.
This one?
Yeah, those thin ones melt in your mouth. It's like perfect marbling.
Okay. Nice. Beef jerky made from scratch, eh?
Yep.
Wow, just to
Brown
spice it.
sugar, salt, cayenne pepper.
Dude.
And little bit of the light curcumin soy sauce. Not much at all.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Yeah, the thick ones are a little chewier. They're still delicious, but I had two like that on the right over here. I was like, wow, these little paper thin ones are they're to die for.
How'd you cut the meat?
My friend that works at the butcher shop,
Yeah.
so he gets the
He used a
orders-
soft saw.
Yeah, he did it all for us. We get it already pre-cut.
Yeah.
He hooks it up.
What piece did you use?
I want to say it's
Round?
shoulder.
Shoulder.
Maybe it's top round.
The grain's
It's like
pretty,
the fourth time we've.
the grain is big for round, so I mean I wasn't sure, but
It's like the fourth time we've had him cut it for us.
if I was making it, I would. We used to use eye round, which is like that cylinder piece,
Mm-hmm.
a muscle group inside the round,
Yep.
and it has a sheen on it.
Silver skin.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So you could trim that off.
And when
that's
you
like,
cut it through the soft saw, you know, yeah, either use your knife, you cut it on the saw, whatever, but it gets like that rainbow kind of like sheen over the face, which is really interesting. But the grain is so straight that when you cut it exactly 90 degrees to the grain, you can just like pull it apart.
Yeah.
It's so delicate. It's so tender because of that. So
I think he gives us a little time in the freezer. Not much, just enough to make it so it's not like.
yeah,
Like-
that stuff is not cut against the grain though. You can't make jerky against the grain.
No.
Because if you do, it's like you make it that thin, it just powderizes in your hand. There's nothing there to hold it together. You have to go with the grain. So it's
Yeah.
actually completely counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not
He
making
does it on the
steaks,
slicer.
dude, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a slicer, yeah. That way you can get it, you can gauge it, and you
I
get
mean,
it to the
once you-
size you want.
When we marinate it, it's like that thick.
Yep.
And then after it's dehydrated for a day and a half.
Oh, dude, I can see eye around would just be so perfect for that, because you can get like these circle sheets of the whole length, especially when you square it up first. You get that face.
This is all like hand trimmed. Like the pieces we're doing, even when it's dehydrated, they're like, they're 10 inches long,
Yeah.
like 4 inches wide.
Yep.
Like they're big freaking strips of it. We have to like cut them in quarters or sixths usually to fit them in little Ziploc bags because they just don't fit in the bags.
I wonder if fattier meat would taste good like that.
It would
If you
taste
use-
good, but you can't. It doesn't have the shelf life of the leaner meat because the fat will go rancid. You have to. It's recommended you use the leaner meat.
Yeah, so
leaner
probably
Unless you're going to eat it all fast.
Because eye around is no fat.
Yeah.
None,
Unless
dude.
you're going to eat it fast.
Yeah.
But like this is already 5 weeks, I think.
Right on. Yeah, the natives would dry it out, jerky, no flavoring, and then powder it up. Keep powdering it until it's like flour. You know. Use that as an ingredient. It's pretty good. Fat and berries, mix it in. Stuff looks
horrible.
like yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it looks like it looks like brownie mix.
Yeah.
When you add the fat and you mix it around, it looks like brownie mix, dude. It's like making brownies, like moose brownies. coffee. And then there's that next down. Till that point, I'll get it set up. Watch the windows.
That's right.
Some here.
I'm just happy I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that later with the care pack, open it up.
Good fish?
Huh?
Good fish? Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Where'd you get that?
Westport lobster.
Cool. Looking forward to trying it out.
I don't think they smoke it there, but they're like the store that sell it.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Usually, like once I buy them, they come in like cardboard boxes, layered in like brown paper. It was like parchment paper,
Totally, yeah.
and then you vacuum seal them. This way we can freeze them. Hold them in the fridge for a while, all vacuum sealed.
Perfect idea.
But I've taken them and I've made like a pate out of it. I'll do like capers and dill with a little bit of sour cream and mayonnaise. Mix it up, so it's almost like a cooked fish salad. And I'll have that with crackers. It's amazing.
Wow.
But I could eat like 5 pieces like that. It's so damn good.
Yeah. That sounds legit, man. Pull it right on the seam. It's hot.
I think it's only black pepper. So we use cracked black pepper and the smoke flavor.
Wow. Dude, this stuff is like pure nourishment right there.
Yeah, it's plenty moist. It's not like you think smoked fish. Oh, it's gonna be a little dry.
Good
I
lord.
don't even find it fishy. Like
Perfect. Wait for Dickhead to go by. I put a parametric EQ. Sometimes I have to, and I'll find what frequency roughly cars are in or planes. Fucking drop it out. It's like it's not even there. Literally.
That's nice.
Yeah, dude, plane.
Especially
Whoa! One of my films. Whoa! Like the Cusco one.
Yeah.
Plane's going over 10 minutes. Whoa! I'm like, right there. It's like, whoa. It's like that frequency just doesn't exist anymore.
That's nice. That's a nice recording feature.
That's a feature of my editor. The program I use to edit. Get all sorts of tools. Wow. Thank you for that.
That was cool when we first came in. I got a gobble out of one of them.
Yep. Yeah, you sure did. my camera picked it up, but I was recording. You know what they did? I was went through the forest here, went to that tree line, took a right, went down to that field near the barn, cut across, went down across the field.
Probably made their way back to the pond.
All the way in that edge way over there. They like to hang out.
Pick up a little chunk of this.
Dude, it's yours, man. I just wanted to taste the piece. When I was in Vancouver, dude, I used to eat the skin on the Chinooks, the horn pout that I used to catch.
Oh yeah.
So like fry it up, make it like crispy.
Like fish bacon.
It was so good. Oh yeah, because their skin is normally slimy and stuff, you know, horn pout.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, like catfish,
So if
bullhead.
you want to do that,
And it was beautiful.
you freeze them. Get them like starting to freeze, and then the slime wipes off if you want the nice dry skin.
Oh yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing with eels.
That's cool. I didn't know that about eels. My dad loves eel. Oh, my dad is obsessed with catching eel. It's like the, you know, to him, there's only a couple different things he'll go after. He goes after bass, pike, pickerel, eel, or pout. Nothing else exists to that man. Nothing else. Everything else is a waste of time. He won't go trout fishing. Nothing. He just loves to find a pout that's like burying itself and trying to hide. He loves to find, at night of course, he loves to find an eel that gives him an epic fight.
Oh yeah, eels give great fights.
Yeah, he loves to find a bass that's smart enough to run towards him. He just like loves these things, and when they happen, he gets like a energy, a smile, and he's like, "Here we go." I'm like, "Oh, you found one?" He's like, "Oh, I found one." He'll just keep throwing them back till he finds one with the fight he likes. You know, he just goes there for that. You know.
I like when they run at you too. The trout do that sometimes. A lot of guys be like, "Oh, I lost him." I'm like, "No, you didn't."
Not yet. Keep
You're
at
gonna.
it. You'll
You're
see.
gonna, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
fight them right.
Exactly. Yeah. My dad lives for that stuff, man.
Eat the rest of that. Don't be shy.
Yeah. All right. We'll do.
I got another chunk of that in the fridge at home. Pretty much a pescatarian.
What does that mean?
Fish diet.
They said pescatarian. I'm like, you only eat pests?
P-E-S-C.
Oh yeah.
I like that better than the jerky. I could eat a whole fish like that. Black pepper, smoked like that. Oh. I'm thinking about starting to do my trout like that.
Yeah.
See how it comes out.
Yeah, of course.
I got a nice smoker at the house. And you have to find like the right wood to smoke it with.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, different flavors. You got the apple, hickory. They say the alder wood is really good for fish.
Yeah. So it's easy to find crabapple once you find it. Because they tend to stick together like pine. So I think if I was going to do that, I would hook up with a apple orchard.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like all they have is deadfall that they're constantly working with.
And just take
Probably
some of
sell
their
them to
dead stuff,
tree
chip
guys
it.
or whatever, chip it, whatever. Dude, you're loaded with that stuff. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
They don't know what to do with all that. Go to a pear orchard. I've
My
been to
uncle's
one
got
of those.
a giant pear tree.
Yeah, dude, there's a pear orchard in Connecticut. I went to a couple years ago with my mom and stuff. We had a bunch of sunflowers, like a sunflower maze, and a big pear orchard, and deadfall everywhere. And you could just go to town, do truckloads. Imagine smoking with Firewood. I bet that'd be good. I like to use bark, plates of bark, to smoke hides. So I wonder if you could use the bark of apple or
Yeah, any type of fruit.
from
cherry.
all those trees. Just use the bark instead of the wood, because I mean it's like just burn down to embers. Just take bark and stack a couple layers right on top of it, like it's trying to smother it to death. And put your rack over it. Completely close it out with brush. I like to use ferns and stuff, almost like I'm making a smoke signal. And I make like a pyramid shape with a square in the middle with all the sticks laid 90 degrees, and all the smoke just comes out that one spot. So it'd be really easy to smoke. You just literally take fillets and just lay them on like a screen or something. Be insane, dude. The only thing I gotta watch out for is that bark eventually will flare up. So you gotta
stay on it.
Yeah, stay on it. Every
Watch
15 minutes, you know,
Take a peek.
just pick it up, shift it to get inside, put my bark on top, keep smothering it, because the bark turns into embers. So it just perpetuates the embers. You never have to worry about more firewood at all. Dude, I did for hours and hours and hours, just bark, maple bark. Oak works too. Well, obviously that'd be so tannic, it wouldn't be good for food, but just saying, I never heard of anyone using like apple bark or anything like that, but I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
Oh, it's always chips. It's always chipped wood, and
Yeah.
you're supposed to soak them, get them wet.
Yep. Yep. Just a dry smoke instead of
But
a
that's
wet
just
smoke.
how
That's
how
different.
it's been commercialized. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think they just redirected smoke at one point. You know what I mean?
I've seen that rig, dude. I saw a guy hook that up. Absolutely, he had a long tunnel, so when the smoke got to the other end, it was cool. Exactly.
Cold smoked.
He had salmon fillets. Guy out west, like 40 fillets at a time. The guy had a rig. He was not messing around. All hand built, stacked wood, the whole bit. You know, stacked stone. Incredible rig. Incredible. It was like, you know, his backyard. That's. Some people have horseshoe pits. Some people have pools.
Yeah.
This guy had a smoker. So I assume he's doing it for a job or something, because I've never seen anyone smoke so much meat.
Unless he's only allowed to fish so much out of the year and then has to preserve it.
Yeah.
I know it's like that in Alaska.
Yeah.
My buddy's cousin, she's allowed so many fish because she's a resident, but you only have so many weeks to get them in.
Yeah.
So you have to
All at once.
procure what you can for the year.
Well, that's real
And then
life.
preserve
dude.
it.
That's what the natives had to do. Vancouver Island. They were so good at it. A guy wrote about it in his book that I read before I went over there. He got taken prisoner, eventually assimilated into society, married, the whole bit. Englishman. And he said like something, I don't remember the exact number, it was astronomical, dude. It was like something like 500 fish in 15 minutes with the rig they had. That's what they like caught with their baskets,
Nets and stuff.
the whole bit. They had weirs.
Pushing 'em.
Yeah, he said that they had baskets. They went to an area that was like soft falls, and they just had a basket at
One
like
point.
literally all the way across, and then again and again, and if anything got past, and they had a door in the back, so they catch a whole bunch of salmon. Dude, we're talking salmon. Rah. They just person walking with a basket, and they'd empty it out. And just a guy would stay at every single. There was a guy at every single basket, and they just keep pulling them out and throw them into a a big burden basket that the person would carry across the river, and they would drop them off, and the woman would skin them up and all that, and hang them and the whole bit, And then they would smoke them, and that's what they ate all winter. Well, they ate more than just that all winter, obviously, but that was the majority. of the provisions. They grab berries up in the mountains, or really the hills, but they used to grab like tons of berries over there due to Vancouver. Salmon berries, and just a crazy amount of berries. And it's really cool. I was learning about it. They had mats, and they would, the men would protect them from mountain lions with bows. And they would get just bushels and bushels of berries, lay them all out, and make them pretty uniform, flat, and then put another mat over it, and walk on it, and crush it all, and then lay it out in the sun, which almost was like never, they never had sun, but I thought that was funny when I read that. Laid out in the sun, I'm like, oh yeah, the sun? Really?
Well, I mean, it's
I never saw
more so open air. I mean, the sun's still there. I mean, it's just like when you get sun.
I know, it's just, you know, you should have said lay it out in the open air. I kind of chuckled being there. I'm like, the sun. I was there for over 40 days and saw it once for an hour, you know. And it wasn't all at once, but it was like probably an hour over 40 days. But,
it's gotta be so hard to preserve out there.
But, I mean, they basically just, yeah, exactly. They basically just made, you know, fruit leather in mass.
How was, did you see any,
It's pretty cool.
trash washing up from the Fukushima stuff? Do you see a lot of that coming up? They say that there's a lot of trash debris washes up on the West Coast since that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was coming up your way, if it's mostly
I don't know if
like,
it was from Fukushima or not, but hopefully not.
not
So
Fukushima. I mean, it was the
I have
tsunami.
I have some of that at my house, so.
Some of the trash?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was cool. Like ropes this thick, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like 8 feet long, big pieces, and like it would break out and it'd be like 64 strands, which are actually strands. Like epic rope, dude. I found all sorts
More
of stuff.
in line. Pretty much more in
Probably
line for big
I don't know.
ships.
For big ships, dude. I found some crazy stuff and I just brought it home. Still got a bunch of that. And obviously, I didn't get rid of it. You know?
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stuff
That's
like
a
that.
part of your life.
Yeah. I found ridiculous things like a bell.
Found a bell?
Steel, just
Random
an
bell?
iron belt. Dude, I found a shipwreck, a couple wrecks out there.
Yeah.
Like wood hulls, old ones.
Yeah.
And then I found in the woods, dude, in the dark. I'm like, being all like trying to find this fresh water source, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see this silhouette, and I'm like, what is that? It's like right on top of me, and I look, and it's like this metal, like, you know, monstrosity in the forest with
Washed up.
moss hanging off of
Washed
it.
up
And,
ship.
dude, it was like the steel boiler for like some steamship or something. Dude, it was just like this big metal monster, you
Could have
know.
lived in that for a little bit.
Oh
if you
my
could get in
god,
there.
dude, that thing was creepy. I had to walk past it every time to get to my water, dude. Dude, it was derelicts, dude. I was like walking by like graveyards. I'm like, oh my god. None of that made the cut. I don't know why. I'm like, this stuff is nuts, dude. I think they're trying to show like, oh, you're in the middle of nowhere. It's like, yeah, dude. They're like,
This is what you see.
there's
in
like
the middle.
broken hulls and, dude, my camera rig, I had like a 60-pound box, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was changing camps one time, the only time I changed camps, I had to walk like a mile or two, whatever it was. It was probably a good mile to my new camp. And the tide came in while I was doing it. And that was a serious problem because I was walking on the beach and eventually, like, I was swimming at the end. That's how bad it was. I didn't even film it because I'm like, dude, I don't care about your footage. Like, I'm in trouble, you know. I'm like, swimming is just bad. But I took like a little pocket can, waterproof one, put it in my pocket, and I left the 60-pound box lashed with fishing line to an old wooden hull of a ship that I found on the beach that was like some wreck, half buried, just a little piece hanging over, like it was probably 5 feet tall, and the water's over 10 feet at high tide, so this is all underwater when high tide come in, you know. And this is a waterproof camera box, Pelican case, and I lashed it all down good, knowing that like it's gonna be floating at one point
Yeah.
tonight when I'm sleeping, a couple hours from now, you know. And, dude, it was ridiculous. I'm like, well, if it gets taken, it gets taken. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I gotta get to my new camp.
Yeah, safety's paramount.
Dude, crazy. So I literally stashed all my camera gear onto an old
Underwater.
hull. Underwater, dude. Imagine, dude. Unbelievable. I went back. It was like disheveled and stuff. It had been like moving around, I guess, you know, with the tide.
The hull
but
was?
It was, well, no, the hull was still
Oh,
there,
but
but
the
the box wasn't where, you know, wasn't how it should have been, but it was still there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh.
Dude, that like metal monstrosity like scared the shit out of me when I first saw it. I didn't feel right inside. It
That
like
big boiler?
it changed my gut. I'm like, this is
wrong.
someone died. This is bad.
You're looking for bones and shit.
clay pot. Garlic mustard, field garlic, onions, beans.
It's rain making rain. This worked out for a while. This was a good handle for a while. The black locust. Got some unbelievable hardwood.
Yeah. Very useful.
That's what Kevin was making his points out of. Is he treated practice tips and that ladle points.
He made me an outlaw a bunch of years ago.
Bubbling bean.
Yep. Bubbling bean pot.
You're working on your molasses patina.
Yeah, man. Original clay Dutch oven right there.
It's lighter than the.
Better believe it.
Wonder if you could do your banana blueberry bread in that.
Yeah.
Like, so you're making like a inside out banana blueberry muffin. So it's like an exploded one when you take it out, but you can't because of the dimensions, but I bet you it would cook the same.
I'll just buy a a bigger pot. I'll buy one that'll work for that. Eventually, I'm gonna
It'd be nice to make
start
them.
getting into clay work, and I didn't make this. This was a gift, and
I'd like
I
to
saw
try
it and was
that.
like, dude, I'm throwing that in the fire. My dad was like, really? Cool, make a video. It was a Christmas present. Yeah, he got it on when he's traveling out west. He went to some reservations and stuff, and there's a bunch of old potters out there, and pretty cool. He brought me some stuff back from the res, but
It looks great. I can't wait to taste
it's
it.
nice. Oh, dude, totally. But yeah, I hope to start making my own pots and everything, and this is kind of the first step in that. You
Yeah.
know? I want to see how good they can be used around the fire.
Yep. I would think you just gotta slowly cool it down.
Yeah, totally. Totally. That's my plan. I'm gonna pull all the embers away and just let it sit for a while, just where it is. And then I'm gonna take some wood like this, like some big logs.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put them like in between the fire
Like a
and
wall.
that to make a wall to give it a little shadow from the heat. It'll start cooling down. Can you have that never make noise while I'm
I
recording?
didn't do it on purpose.
I know, I'm just saying. Check that out, bro. Wow. Came out really good. How's yours?
It's good.
What do you got?
I let it cool off just enough. It's not burning my mouth now.
Nice.
Red skin potatoes, sweet corn, old belly clams, chorizo, cayenne hot dogs, and sausage.
So it's like a clam soup with sausage, basically.
It's like a clam boil with turned into a soup.
Nice.
Celery seed, a little extra flavor.
There you go. Yeah. In this I have beans, maple beans, baked beans. I have onions. I have garlic mustard that we foraged out here. Field garlic that we foraged. Got some onions. Brought some got some pig lard in here as well. Came out good.
Real good. Ham.
Ham chunks. Yep.
You just put a nice molasses patina on your pot.
Mm-hmm. Pot's looking good.
I think it looks cooler with the character now than it did brand spanking.
Yeah, of course.
Glossy.
Yeah, definitely. Glossy and glazed up. Yeah, it looks good now.
You're gonna have to make its own personal sack for it.
Totally. I carried it in my my food pouch.
Perfect.
Fit right in here with all my spices.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Done deal.
Yeah.
Throw it in my Alder-Stream bag. Call it a day. Worked out good. I think I have an actual like cooking pot, like sack though. That's kind of a circle bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably repurpose that. Maybe get some
cap.
extra bandanas and stuff inside
Mm-hmm.
that I can use for cleanup, but also as padding. You know.
Yep.
Make like a little clay Dutch oven pot kit. You know.
Have to whittle down a ladle.
Dude, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I spooned out almost all of this, and at the end I just poured in some of the liquid, top it off. But it would be super cool to have a nice like tree crotch ladle, pour it up. Oh man, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that, what I took from there was about half the volume, dude. Half the volume is this whole bowl. That holds more than it looks.
It's deceiving.
It really is.
Now,
Half.
what's that bowl made out of? I know it looks like a burl, but
Yeah, it
what type of wood is it? A pine burl?
Eastern white pine on my dad's property. The branch had been cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Had been pruned off.
So that's the branch collar.
Right here, exactly. And this is where the tree was.
Mhm.
I took my Baco right down the tree growing straight up.
Yep.
Took
As
it
close
off.
as you could.
I coal burned it out, all embers, all the way down. Me and my wife did it when we first started dating and stuff years ago. Actually, we might have been married then, but anyways, burned it all out together. It was a cool project we did together, and then after it was burnt down quite a bit, to give it a nice clean instead of all burnt and charred, I took my spoon knife, cleaned it all out, and here it is. And because it's pine, it has natural resin inside of it, so it's water resistant already.
Yep.
It wants to hold the liquid in. It's already waterproof.
Yeah. And pine's 100% edible, so it's not gonna
Totally.
affect you in any way.
Yep.
You might
Doesn't
get a
add
little-
any flavor. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No flavor at all. Because when I was cooking it, I pushed a lot of the sap to the bottom.
Mhm.
So the bottom is like coated
Yep.
in sap, but where I eat isn't. Worked out pretty good.
Very nice.
Yeah, not bad.
I wonder if this is still hot to the touch. Oh, perfect. Was that chip there when you got it? Or did that?
was.
It was there. All right. I was
Yeah.
nervous for a minute. Make sure I didn't catch it in my mid-chew.
Well, it's handmade, so it has a lot of like irregularities in it. Been raining all day. Everything's soaked, chilly. We're nice and warm and dry under a tarp and camp. Nice hot fire.
Can't beat it.
Cooking tons of food. Clam
Fresh
boil
air.
for you.
Little
Bean boil
beans.
for me.
Smoked bluefish appetizer.
Yeah, the bluefish appetizer, totally.
Weather calmed down a little bit. The birds are starting to
Yep,
serenade us.
exactly. Saw tons of
Nice.
turkey earlier, a couple
Bunch
times.
of turkey. A wildcat.
Yep. Yep. Wildcat. Totally. Not a bad day so far. Dude, I'm pumped. I just used a clay pot as a Dutch oven. That's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. Yep. Because now it's possible to take 3-pound roasts from deer, a 2-pound roast, a big roast, boneless chuck and all that stuff, in a bigger pot. Put it in the clay Dutch oven, half filled with water, whatever edibles I can put in there with it. Burdock root, wash it off real good so it comes off like mashed potato, soft. I don't know if you ever had that stuff. It's money. It tastes like sweet potato. Oh yeah. And do that in a clay pot.